Well, last night, Donald Trump announced that he was picking a Fox News anchor who's never run an office in his life, Pete Hegseth, to be his Secretary of Defense. Oh, boy, he said, hold my beer. Today, he announced that Eddie Munster is going to be his pick to be Attorney General. Come on, guys, go to my iPad. Thank you. That's right. Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, Eddie Munster, that's the guy Trump wants to be head of the Department of Justice. Okay, really? Matt Gaetz. Is this the same Matt Gaetz who a member of Congress said this about him?
You got to think about this guy. This is a guy that the media didn't give a time of day to after he was accused of sleeping with an underage girl. And there's a reason why no one in the conference came and defended him, because we had all seen the videos he was showing on the House floor that all of us had walked away of the girls that he had slept with. He'd brag about how he would crush ED medicine and chase it with an energy drink so he could go all night. This is obviously before you got.
Now, y'all, that's a Republican. That's not a Democrat talking about Matt Gaetz. That's a Republican. How about former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy? Listen to this.
And I'll give you the truth why I'm not Speaker. It's because one person, a member of Congress, wanted me to stop an ethics complaint because he slept with a 17-year-old. An ethics complaint that started before I ever became Speaker, and that's illegal, and I'm not going to get in the middle. Did he do it or not? I don't know. But ethics is looking at it. There's other people in jail because of it. And he wanted me to influence it. And I'll give you the truth.
Yep. That's the same person. Same guy. Oh, do you need another Republican? Go.
Look, the House is a rough and rowdy place, but Mike Johnson is going to be just fine. I served 20 years in the military. It's my absolute honor to be in Congress, but I served with some real scumbags. Look, Matt Gaetz, he paid minors to have sex with him at drug parties. Bob Good endorsed my opponent, a known neo-Nazi. These people used to walk around with...
Yep, that's exactly who they want. That's who y'all voted for? I know I ain't vote for that fool. Now you got Republicans like Tommy Tuberville and others. Matter of fact, if you want to see how much of an ass he is, this was at the Republican National Convention while Kevin McCarthy was giving an interview. Watch.
But what you're seeing here, a more united Republican Party. Think back 8 years ago. Ted Cruz wouldn't endorse. Senator Lee was saying no to President Trump. Now you've got Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis. You're watching a united party like we haven't been in the past. One who's not coming back, and then the other part that you have, and the other part you have is one person who raised the issue. He's got an ethics complaint about sleeping with a 17-year-old. So that's the way they would go. So that's the biggest.
See, those are the kind of people Donald Trump wants. Now, Democrats, of course. When President Joe Biden had the opportunity to pick his attorney general, he chose to go with the very sober and somber Merrick Garland. The same Merrick Garland who moved like a damn turtle when it came to prosecuting Donald Trump. And one of the reasons why those cases have delayed, because he waited too damn long. Scott Bolden, I'm gonna go ahead and say this, and I really, Scott, I really tried my best to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let me be real clear. I wanted Biden to pick Doug Jones. I thought that Doug Jones could have been a much better attorney general. But Scott, I'm gonna go ahead and say, Scott, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, Merrick Garland was awful. He's been an awful attorney general. You had everything there in front of you, and he was scared and timid to prosecute Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's a judge, one, and
No. He's a retired judge. As attorney general, he's not a judge.
If you let me finish, I was going to say that, but are you done? Because I was going to say...
I'll be done when I'm done.
Judge by training. Okay, well, go Go right ahead. You tell me when you're done.
I said I'll be done when I'm done.
You can speak.
Go ahead. And you're wearing the damn ascot wrong too, but go ahead.
I'm wearing it the way I want to wear it.
You're wearing it wrong.
About it. I'm wearing it like I want to wear it.
Yeah, and it's wrong. Go.
He's a judge by training, one. He's a judge by training. It's a scarf, by the way. It's not an ascot. That's why I can wear it that way. But he's a judge by training, and judges don't need to be the chief legal officer all the time because their jurisprudence tells them to take time and what have you. As a prosecutor, sometimes you can't take all the time in the world. He's very cautious, and I agree with you. The delay was the delay, and that contributed to why the prosecutions took so long. But let me tell you, the Gaetz appointment is full of conflicts, first of all. And they may rue the day that he nominated Gaetz, because while he's under investigation for sleeping with 17-year-olds, right? You haven't heard a whole lot about it, but it's still there. That conflict may play out in the Senate. Either they vetted Matt Gaetz, which they didn't. They only came up with this a few days ago. It's going to play out in the Senate.
No, it's
all
not.
the details are going to come out.
No, it's
You don't
not.
think so?
No, it's not.
Oh, the Democrats.
No. The Democrats are going to do that. Remember a few moments ago, Rebecca, I played that video of a Republican from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Talking about Gaetz running around on the floor, showing videos. Here's the same Republican today. Rebecca, listen.
Are you going to vote for Matt Gaetz?
You know, Matt Gaetz and I, there's no question that we've had our differences. They've been very public about it. I completely trust President Trump's decision-making on this one. But at the same time, he's got to come to Congress and sell himself. There's a lot of, or to the Senate and sell himself. There's a lot of questions that are going to be out there. He's got to answer those questions. And hopefully he's able to answer the questions right. And if he can, then we'll go through the confirmation process.
Senator Markwayne Mullin from the great state of Oklahoma.
But Roland, that's not a ringing endorsement.
No. Rebecca, here's why that's stupid. I trust Trump's decision making. You the same one who said this man ran around on the floor showing us videos of 17-year-olds he was having sex with and how he would take erectile dysfunction pills, crush it up, and mix it and chase it with an energy drink so he can have sex all night. And your punk ass, your weak ass goes on television. Well, you have the differences between Matt Gaetz and I, but I trust the decision making, of Donald Trump. These Republican senators, y'all, I'm trying hard. So I know some of y'all out there, y'all keep asking me not to cuss. Okay, some of y'all, I had a brother who said, man, I watched the show with my daughters. So y'all, go ahead, just turn the volume down just for 5 seconds. Okay, that's all I'm asking you. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rebecca, this is bitch assness. These Republicans, they are bitch assness. There's no other, I can't use any other to sit. Your job is to advise and consent. And I trust the judgment of Donald Trump. Tommy Tuberville, he now, we're going to run people out of the Senate if they oppose any of Donald Trump's picks. Rebecca, gone.
You know, the only people that I trust to fight right now, if I was going to war and I had to pick who my fighters are, it would be black women and some black men, quite frankly, full stop. Democratic Party isn't run by a black woman. Republican Party isn't run by a black woman. When we see what's going on, when we see what our country is about to face, especially with fascists, those who are anti-democratic, who are now taking over government, when we think about all the corruption that happened in the first Trump presidency, all of the people who went to prison, imagine that, but 10, 20, 50-fold in the second Trump administration. I think there's going to be lots of chaos, quite frankly. And there's a lot of people who they asked for it because they didn't think that water, some people say water isn't wet, but guess what? I know that fat meat is greasy. And what we're seeing is a lot of grease, a lot of fat.
Right.
One thing that I also understand is that the judiciary, the federal judiciary, is at risk because of the shenanigans and the corruption that's going to come out of this next administration. I'm very concerned what's going to happen with our federal courts. I also understand how Peter Thiel and the rest of them roll, and I am quite confident that Trump will also get 25th Amendment. Because look at J.D. Vance and how he's set up and who specifically backs him. I think there's going to be a lot of chaos. I think there's going to be a lot of privatization of government. There's going to be a lot of no-bid contracts. There's going to be a lot of billionaires who are making double, triple their current worth. I think that's what we're about to see over the next few years.
This is, I mean, people just need to understand what's going on here. Avis, these people are sick and deranged. And guess what? I know how I voted. And I'm going to sit back and say, nah, this on y'all ass. No, this on y'all. This on y'all.
It absolutely is. Here's the thing. The Republicans are in a position where if Donald Trump says jump, they'll say how.
Wait, hold on. I want you. I know somebody right now is saying, well, come on now. I think, Avis, you are being, let me find it. They said, Avis, I just think you're going a little too far. Y'all, Avis ain't going far, because I want y'all to listen to this.
There's no question he's a leader of our party. So now he's got a mission statement, his mission, and his goals and objectives, whatever that is, we need to embrace it. All of it. Every single word. If Donald Trump says jump 3 feet high and scratch your head, we all jump 3 feet high and scratch our heads. That's it.
That is a Republican member of Congress from Texas, Avis.
And there it is. Okay, so that's what you're in for. So no matter what level of ridiculousness he puts up there, they are going to go ahead and push it through. But I have to agree with your original point. I knew from day one Merrick Garland was trash. I'm just going to go out there and say that, too. I know you're that same person not going to like that either, but I'm keeping it real tonight, OK? I knew from day one he was going to be a punk. And the only reason why he's there is because Barack Obama tried to get him as his final appointment to the Supreme Court, even though we were trying to push him at the time to get a black woman. And what happened? OK, that was the stolen seat. OK, the Senate never even gave him the dignity of meeting with him. And so Biden comes in and he throws him that. In some way to make up for not being able to be on the Supreme Court. I was thinking from the very beginning it should have been Letitia James. If it was her, okay, we wouldn't be messing around with this years later. She would have acted immediately. Once again, a black woman, okay? So I just have to say that I'm not surprised we're here. And part of the reason why we're here is we didn't have strong leadership in the DOJ. And now we're here with a clown that they have put up to head the DOJ. Thanks a lot, Merrick Garland. Appreciate that.
We are going to see absolute madness and craziness. Folks need to understand this. This idiot has picked somebody who's been called a Russian mole in former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard as the Director of National Intelligence. He literally has picked an idiot. Okay, Peter Hegseth, he's an American hero. Oh, he wasn't no Army Ranger, he was a National Guard. You mean to tell me that your pick to be Secretary of Defense, Scott, is somebody who was the weekend anchor on Fox News? He ain't never led a staff. You now gonna put him in charge of a department that's almost with a $900 billion budget and 2 million employees.
You know, experience matters, especially in this particular case. I mean, you know, when you don't have experience, you don't know what you don't know. And by the way, this same appointee, he doesn't think women should be in the military. He doesn't believe transgendered individuals ought to serve in the military. He wants them to be out of the military because he says they don't add any value to the military. So now keep that in mind, given that he's got to not only lead, but he's against DEI in the military, which is one of the first organizations, I think, in the 40s that allowed integration. is he going to do? What is he going to do with all those black and brown soldiers that he doesn't think add value? And so that's a real problem. The other thing is just real quick, Roland, is when you don't know what you don't know and you don't have the experience, then you rely on people to give you all sides of the story, all sides of the issue, but they have political agendas. They have their own motivations. And so you're subject to that versus having your own independent judgment and moving troops, if you will, and managing a $9 billion budget. That budget under contracts that are going to be no bid contracts, that's the part that my colleague was talking about. They're going to walk out the door. That money walking out the door. And so that's what the lack of experience gets you. Well, one other point about Gaetz is this. Gaetz is the retribution nominee. Gaetz is going to go after with DOJ behind him. He's going to be whispering in Trump's ear, and he's going to be the retribution nominee, whereby if you cross Donald Trump, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, he's going to send DOJ after you. You watch, because that's the political side of Matt Gaetz. It's just an awful appointee. Both of these appointees that you've raised are just awful for America.
You
I don't think they can be confirmed. They may not be able to get confirmed.
No. Let me tell you, they are. First of all, you've already heard Rebecca. You've already heard him, Trump say demand recess appointments. But you have these Republicans are going to kiss their butt. This is the dumbest United States Senator, Tommy Tuberville, out of Alabama, on Fox. Listen to this.
Matt Gaetz get the votes in the Senate?
I don't know. You're finding all the swamp creatures coming out right now. Everybody's got an opinion up here, but at the end of the day, President Trump was elected by an enormous vote, and he deserves a team around him that he wants. It's not us to determine that. We've got 53 votes in the Senate. We can confirm with 51. I've already seen where a couple of them says, I'm not voting for him. Wait a minute. You are not the United States of America. You have one vote in the U.S. Senate. You did not get elected president. Vote with President Trump. This is the last chance we're going to have of saving this country. And if you want to get in the way, fine. But we're going to try to get you out of the Senate, too, if you try to do that.
What?
Okay, I'm sorry. Rebecca, the job of the United States Senate, per the Constitution, is to advise and consent. And so, yeah. And this is where I hope Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. This is where I hope Susan Collins of Maine. This is where I hope you have 4 Republican senators who have any modicum of sense would say, no, you're not going to get that idiot.
You know, I'm thinking about my home state state senator, Senator Ernie Chambers. Ernie Chambers is in his 80s now, and I've watched him run ramshot against a very extremely conservative unicameral in Nebraska. He was one of 49. The reason why he was able to make that body come to a stop at his will is because he really understood a parliamentary procedure. When a political party is in a position the way the Democrats are now, the only path forward when it comes to stopping bad legislation, stopping recess appointments, is understanding party procedure. One of the things I do know is that the incoming Senator Angela Alsobrooks, Congressman Glenn Ivey, they better be prepared to camp out in the Capitol to make sure that the Congress doesn't go into recess if indeed the Republicans are able to negotiate and be able to get recess appointments. I also know, just like you mentioned last week, is that for the Democrats, Dick Durbin needs to get on it, needs to pull all the blue slips, and he needs to ram through the rest of the judiciary appointees. What's the point I was making earlier of Black women are the people who I would respect and gladly go into battle with, and some Black men, is quite frankly, we know how to fight. We've been here the longest. We are the original. We know how to fight. We've seen it. We've done it. Our ancestors will guide us. But one thing that I do know is that right now we're seeing a very feckless opposition party. If democracy was truly on the ballot, the way Democrats said all year, then I need them to show up and do something. Didn't Kendrick Lamar say sometimes you got to pop out and you got to show them something? Well, that's what the Democratic Party needs to do right now. If they don't, they are feckless. They are complicit. And they are also supporting what we're going to see as a circus of government over the next few years if how Trump is setting up government indeed happens the way he's making the announcements today.
These people have no guts whatsoever. They will do a jig for this fool in a heartbeat, Avis, and so that's just what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. It certainly is. I mean, the bottom line is they understand, as was said by Tuberville, they are going to be targeted if they don't fall in line. So, they often say Democrats fall in love, Republicans fall in line. I mean, in this particular scenario, that's a heightened circumstance because they know that this is someone who holds a grudge. This is someone who has a long memory. This is someone who will go out and target. If they could get rid of Liz Cheney in the way that they got rid of Liz Cheney, just think, who's safe? None of them are anywhere near the stature of a Liz Cheney. OK, and so they understand that. And the bottom line is they prioritize their self-preservation in the elected office more than they prioritize the needs of the American people. And so they will do whatever he says.
Yep, that's what's going to happen. And so I'm just letting y'all know it's going to be more crazy, more fools, more idiots. And so we're going to call it out. But just understand, those of you who chose to vote for this, this is all yours. It's all on you.
Hi, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Fanbase is a free-to-download, free-to-use, next-generation social media platform that allows anyone to have followers and subscribers on the same page. Fanbase was built through investment dollars from equity crowdfunding from the Jobs Act. People just like you helped build Fanbase, and we're looking for more people to help build Fanbase. We are currently raising $17 million in a Regulation A crowdfund on Start Engine. We've already crossed $2.1 million, but we're looking to raise more capital from people just like you that deserve the opportunity to invest in early stage startups without having to be accredited investors. So right now, I'd like you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase. Right now, today. And then use Fanbase to connect with friends, grow your audience, and be you without limits.